There are people who breathe with the correct technique when swimming, yet they still get tired quickly, still sink in the water. Not because they're weak, but because they're breathing correctly at the wrong time. Hello. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you've stepped into a swimming pool before with a very sincere intention to swim for better health, for a stronger heart, for a gentler later stage of life. You learned to inhale through your mouth and exhale through your nose. You followed the instructions exactly. But strangely, after just a few laps, you felt tired, your chest felt heavy, your breathing became rushed. And a familiar question started forming in your mind. Am I simply too old to swim? Before we go any further, please leave comment number 1 if you've ever felt this way. I really want you to know, you are not alone. When we pass the age of 60, our bodies no longer function the way they once did. This isn't weakness, it's biology. Lung capacity gradually decreases with age. The chest wall becomes less elastic. The heart responds more slowly to changes in breathing rhythm. And most importantly, the nervous system becomes more cautious, more easily stressed when oxygen levels drop. That's why so many older adults come to swimming with both hope and anxiety. They try very hard to do every technique correctly, especially breathing. But what few people clearly explain is this: breathing correctly isn't enough. Breathing at the right moment is the real key. I've met many people over the age of 60. Their technique wasn't wrong. Their timing was. And that mistimed breathing rhythm turned swimming, one of the gentlest forms of exercise, into a burden. Imagine this to make it easier to understand. You're walking, but every time you take a breath, you stop for a moment before taking the next step. Even if your legs are strong and your heart is healthy, you'll get tired much faster than someone who walks with a steady rhythm. Swimming works the same way. When breathing doesn't sync with movement, the body has to start over after every breath. Among older adults, it's extremely common to breathe with the correct technique, but at the wrong time. That means inhaling correctly and exhaling correctly, but doing so when the body isn't ready. The first mistake I see most often is inhaling before the body has fully risen. When swimming, especially breaststroke or a slow freestyle, there is a brief moment when the body reaches its highest point on the water's surface. That's when the lungs open most naturally. But out of fear of running out of air, many people inhale too early, while the body is still low and the water is pressing against the chest. The result is a shallow breath and a loss of buoyancy. Right after inhaling, the body sinks, and the feeling of chest heaviness appears almost immediately. This isn't your fault. It's the brain's natural response to anxiety. The brain says, breathe now or you'll miss it. But the body isn't ready yet. And those two signals don't meet. The second mistake, more dangerous than the first, is holding your breath underwater for too long. Many people believe holding their breath helps save air. But physiology tells us the opposite. When you hold your breath, carbon dioxide builds up in the blood, the heart has to work harder, and the nervous system becomes more tense. When you finally come up, you're forced to gasp for air, your heart rate spikes, and a sense of panic can appear. For people over 60, this is especially hard on the cardiovascular system. Swimming is not a test of endurance. Swimming is about continuity. Slow, steady exhalation underwater helps the body stay in a stable state. Not holding your breath is a vital principle, especially for older adults. The third mistake is often overlooked: finishing a breath and only then pulling with the arms or kicking with the legs. When that happens, breathing and movement become disconnected. The body is like a car that keeps stopping and restarting the engine. Every breath becomes a loss of momentum. Losing momentum means losing energy. And that loss of energy is exactly why you get tired quickly, even when you're not swimming fast. If you're listening to this and recognize yourself in one of these 3 mistakes, please comment "OK" right now. Just one word, so I know you're truly paying attention to the most important part of this video. So what is the right time to breathe for people over 60? The principle is very simple, but it must be felt with the body, not memorized from theory. First, exhale while you're moving. while your arms and legs are still working. Don't wait until you stop to breathe. Second, inhale only when your body reaches its highest point of buoyancy, even if it lasts just a brief moment. And finally, never hold your breath. Research in exercise physiology shows that a steady, continuous breathing rhythm helps stabilize blood pressure, reduces strain on the heart, and increases the feeling of safety in the water, something that's extremely important for older adults. To apply this, you don't need to swim far or fast. You can start right at the pool wall. Hold the edge, slowly exhale into the water, then gently lift your head to inhale when your chest feels the most open. After that, try gliding a short distance, focusing more on your breathing rhythm than on distance. Gradually, you'll feel the difference. Swimming becomes lighter, your mind more relaxed, and the feeling of fighting the water disappears. More important than technique is mindset. People over 60 don't need to swim fast or look perfect. What you need is a sense of safety and rhythm. When you breathe at the right moment, the body naturally relaxes. The heart works more smoothly, and swimming becomes a form of moving meditation in water, not a struggle for air. It's not your age that makes you tired when swimming. It's that your breathing rhythm hasn't yet matured alongside your own body. If you remember just one thing from this video, remember this: you are not weak. You simply need to breathe at the right time. When your breath flows with your movement, the water is no longer an opponent. It becomes support. Swimming then isn't just good for your heart. It calms the mind, deepens sleep, and brings a sense of control over your body at an age many people believe it's already too late. If you found this video valuable, please subscribe to Vital Health Hub. Here, we don't chase youth. We learn how to live healthier, slower, and more steadily every day. Thank you for listening until the end. We'll meet again in more honest conversations about health in the years of maturity.